Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about two-thirds of a billion reasons why the bottom may be coming in for Bitcoin, or it actually might already be here. Today, we're going to be talking about 654 million reasons why the bottom for Bitcoin may be here. Guys, over the last month and change, Bitcoin has been in a major corrective movement, and many people have been very fearful of this. Of course, this has been the largest percentage-wise and price action-wise drop that Bitcoin has witnessed so far this bull market. So it stands as a maturing point for this bull market. Can Bitcoin survive a drop this large, or is Bitcoin going to disappear into the black of the night? Are we going to end up just failing? Is the bull market just over? And so that's a question that many people are asking themselves right now. Is Bitcoin going to be able to continue this bull market or not? And if it is, how? And I am very confident that we are going to be able to rally much farther than we have. I think $100,000 is very much in the cards for this bull market, and I think a $8,000 to $10,000 Ethereum is very much in the cards for this bull market as well. And I also think those of us that set up dollar cost averaging and hold Bitcoin for more than 7 years are going to almost guaranteed be in a profit. In fact, you're most likely going to be in a significant profit. I think 7 to 10 years out, Bitcoin will almost certainly be worth 200 to 1,000% more than it is right now, which is an incredible return on your money. And so here on the Crypto Jeb YouTube channel, here on Coffee and Crypto, it is our mission to analyze the markets, to see what they're doing, where they're going, and we apply the principles of financial sovereignty to be able to invest in these markets wisely and successfully. And that does not lead to an incredible amount of wealth right now, but it will lead to an incredible amount of wealth as you allow your investments to grow, as you are out of debt, as you have an emergency fund so you don't have to go back into debt, as you are setting up consistent investment schedules that you follow, you will build wealth. How amazing it feels for us as a family to go every single month just knowing our financial picture just got better just because a month passed. Have you ever wanted that? Have you ever wanted to think, I just want time to pass and us to be more wealthy? Can we make it that simple? Yes, we can. I'm going to show you exactly how to. Today, I'm going to show you not only why the bottom for Bitcoin might be close. I'm not convinced it's in yet, but why it might be close. And I'm also going to share with you how to invest to succeed in this market, because I firmly believe that Bitcoin is going to be rallying well over $100,000, if not in 2024 and 2025, certainly at some point soon. And that's going to provide a major opportunity to make returns on your money. If you're new here, my name is Crypto Jeb. I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for about the last 7 years. At the end of this month, it'll be 7 years since I joined the space, and I absolutely love this space. I love teaching you guys about Bitcoin. I love teaching you guys about cryptocurrency. I love teaching you guys everything that I know about building wealth, and I love bringing you guys with me on that journey. So if you're new here, make sure to give us a wave in chat. Very excited that you could be joining us today. Thank you so much for being here, and I want to give you, and especially you, a shout out. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for your continued support. Diffla's in chat. Coin Operators in chat. Said hashtag FinSolve. Cynthia Dizon's in chat. Joe Bollier's in chat. Dawig is in chat. Fox P2 said, are you contracted to stream only on this platform because Rumble is desperate for your videos? No, I'm not contracted to stream anywhere. Haven't looked into other platforms, although, guys, I tell you the truth, when I am physically able to, I am going to be absolutely blowing up the content here, just exploding it. And one of those things that we'll eventually doing is looking at a lot of other platforms, because eventually we're going to have probably an entire team in our company that is going to need to handle distribution, because we're going to have that many millions of people watching the content. So one day, Maybe. Right now, I'm just focused on making sure my wife's taken care of because we are giving birth here in like 2 or 3 weeks, and she's got a lot of health complications that I'm trying to support her through. So, not right now, but potentially in the future. Mike Lowry's in chat. Jamel Brown is in chat saying, hello from New Orleans. Down there with the Poncha train. Good morning to you. Craig is in chat. Saul's in chat. Buenos dias, good sir. Buenos dias, mi amigo. ¿Cómo está? Muy bien. Sí. All right, let's get started. We've got a lot to cover. Bitcoin is currently trading at $57,800. Yes, it is, actually. And that's very exciting because for us, Bitcoin has been very bearish. Over the last month, Bitcoin dropped 26%, $18,500. It dropped nearly 20K, which was, as I mentioned, the largest drop so far in this bull market and the largest drop that Bitcoin has seen in 2.5 years and one of the largest drops in the history of the entire industry. We dropped more in 28 days than the entire height of the bull market that was built in 2016 and 17 of approximately $18,500. Actually, about 19.5, so it's about the same size. But we dropped that far in 28 days. Now, of course, we're higher, so there's diminishing returns. But the point is, this is a big drop. And it was scary. It's freaked people out because we're actually getting close to where the Bitcoin ETF actually launched. So a lot of the people that bought the Bitcoin ETF, especially if they bought it later up here in the second half of this rally, are now no longer in profit. They're actually negative. But those people that are now no longer in profit or negative, or the people that are just saying, hey, we believe in this project, just dumped $654.3 million into Bitcoin's ETF. That is net, which means there are outflows there. But that is net. In the last 3 trading days, the 5th of July, which was Friday, the 8th of July, which was Monday, and the 9th of July, which was yesterday, we saw a net inflow on Friday of $143 million worth of inflows. We talked about this on Monday. On Monday, we doubled that with nearly $300 million. If you don't know where I'm talking about, look right here. These are the dates. These are the Bitcoin ETFs. IBIT, which is iShares Bitcoin ETF by BlackRock. FBTC, which is Fidelity. ARK BTC, which is one of the next runner-ups. BTC, HODL, Burr, GBTC. GBTC is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. They're getting eviscerated. It's very sad. They're about to drop below the amount of holdings as IBIT. But nevertheless, what we're seeing here is cumulatively adding up everything that has been brought into the space and taken out of the space. In the last 3 trading days, we have seen $650 million of inflows. 143 on Friday, $294 million of inflows on Monday, $216 million of inflows on July 9th, and of course the day just opened today, but I'm expecting more inflows coming in today. And if you will recall, one of the reasons that we always wanted a Bitcoin ETF was because that does literally and actually impact the price of Bitcoin. There is literal spot market, which means that when these people are buying Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is physically backed. So when you see $654 million worth of Bitcoin being purchased, that adds up to just about 0.5% of all of the Bitcoin in existence just got bought and is being held in custody somewhere from the custodians of these different ETF of these different ETF managers, right? And so that is actual literal buy pressure that has actually literally moved the price of Bitcoin up. And the way the market forces work when the ETF prices go up is naturally going to drag the price of the spot markets over here in the cryptocurrency space up as well. And so it has a major bullish impact. And so that's where we've seen Bitcoin kind of hovering here. I think this will be very, very clear to you guys. This is Tuesday, July the 9th. That's the day that we saw $216 million of inflows, right? On that day, on the chart, candle body-wise, we rallied at $1,300. You can see the real impact of these inflows. This is rapidly becoming one of the most important pieces of data that anyone in cryptocurrency should be looking at, the inflows and outflows of the Bitcoin ETF, because they are by far and away one of the largest indicators of price action. On Monday, remember, we had almost $300 million of inflows. We saw a spinning top right here, which signaled indecision, and those inflows on the ETF side seemingly counteracted short selling that was going on the crypto markets, and it allowed the market to go through a rally. Here on Monday, we saw a rally of approximately 1.67%. And then also on Saturday, probably having something to do with all of the purchasing that was going on Friday, we actually saw a buy here. So we see 3 green days lining up with 3 green days, almost perfectly lining up. Not quite, because one of them was on the 6th, not the 5th, but almost perfectly lining up with these 3 big inflow days. And I don't think those days of inflows are going to be over. I think that investors realize what we talked about in yesterday's stream, which was that Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. Jerome Powell speaking right now, giving a semi-annual address, and people realize that when you have an organization called the Federal Reserve and their entire job is to manipulate the United States dollar, sometimes they get it wrong. Sometimes they get it right. Sometimes they get it wrong and they screw everybody over, and you end up having a huge amount of inflation. And one of the best hedges against inflation, other than just putting it in the stock market, is dumping it into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is inflation hardened. And so there is a massive incentive to buy Bitcoin right now. Furthermore, it's not just that. We've got some technical indications here that are looking promising. We did not believe that this was the bottom at $60,000. No, we predicted a $10,000 drop. Bitcoin dropped $8,500 the day after we made that prediction. We did not believe $65,000 was the bottom. We predicted that Bitcoin was going to go down to $60,000. We have been on the same train of thought for the last month. Ever since we were trading at 66, we were saying it was going to our next bearish price target. Now, yes, we could go to a next bearish price target. We could drop down to 49. I'm not convinced necessarily that this drop is over, because I haven't seen a major actual recovery yet. But I do at least want to report on some bullish factors, and one of those is that the Bitcoin MACD is flipping bullish. And given just a couple more days of green, we could see the MACD line and the signal line cross once again into a bearish situation here, where we'd see a bullish cross. That would, of course, lead the histogram to flipping bullish for the first time in over a month, and that would be a major bullish sign here on the daily chart for Bitcoin. As far as the RSI goes, we have set higher highs or higher lows on the daily chart, and we've set lower lows on the daily chart price action. This is traditional bullish RSI divergence, where we have the RSI bottoms moving in a different direction than the bottoms on the price action. Hopefully you can see that right here. That should be pretty apparent to you guys, right? You see these two lines? They're moving in different directions. This one's moving down, this one's moving up. It's that simple. That's called bullish RSI divergence, and it traditionally means that the bottom's close. Doesn't mean the bottom's in, no, but it does mean the bottom's close, generally. Nothing is guaranteed in Bitcoin other than that Bitcoin is unhackable and it will always have a diminishing increase in its supply. But as far as the technicals are concerned, nothing's guaranteed, but it is promising. What I want to see here now on Bitcoin's RSI is I want to see this downtrend broken. Bitcoin is beneath this downtrend. Should it be able to break above the 14 daily interval moving average and break above this downtrending level of resistance, then there is every reason to believe that Bitcoin could end up breaking out very bullish here, and we could have a major rally. So in the next couple of days, we're going to watch it closely. If we keep seeing these inflows, then that is just Wall Street's way of saying, nah, we're going into an uptrend, and we could end up seeing a major bullish movement forming at the same time. So let's pay close attention here. A lot of promising signals are going on, even on Ethereum. We bottomed out down here at 2850, so we're holding that support architecture here, which is phenomenal. Got an uptrend over the last few days because of these promising signs on Bitcoin. It's too preliminary to tell exactly what's going to happen here, but what we do know is that Bitcoin is looking far more bullish today than it did even just a week ago. And while we cannot confidently call an uptrend just yet, we can confidently be on the lookout for one to start soon, which is very, very exciting. Now, if you're working in the cryptocurrency space and you want to succeed, one of the first things you're going to have to do is figure out how to protect yourself, right? You're going to have to figure out how to protect yourself. You know, who's ever watched the movie The Blind Side, right? They say in The Blind Side, it's about, I forgot the name of the actress, but anyway, they're in Tennessee, help this kid, adopt him, and he's a football player, right? In the opening scene of that movie, she says, the first thing you pay for is your home insurance, right? That's kind of what you do, right? The first thing that should come out of your budget is your mortgage with the escrow, with the home insurance and all of that, to make sure that you don't lose your assets. So you make sure you don't lose your assets, right? You don't lose your assets. It's kind of in the name, right? I'm not going to say it because I don't curse, but you get my point, right? You've heard the joke. You don't want to lose your assets. Don't lose your assets. Cover your assets. It's important. Here's how you do that. You've got to protect yourself, and we've got a couple of sponsors that are going to help you do that. NordVPN is excellent in helping you protect your assets because they're going to keep you invisible and safe, just like they always have done, and protect you from your IP address becoming public, from people being able to track you, see your online activity, spy on you, steal from you, and get all kinds of information from you. Guys, if I ever told you about data brokers, there are people out there and their entire job is to find your data and sell it. They will figure out where you live. They will figure out what you drive. They will figure out your license plate number. They will figure out your social security number sometimes. They will get a picture of you off of Facebook, and they've got algorithms and artificial intelligence that will do this automatically. They will grab your data, and they will sell it to the highest bidder so they can advertise to you at best, steal from you at worst. NordVPN is going to protect you from having all of that data harvested as well. So make sure that you sign up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below. Because if you're trying to protect yourself, you just got to do what it takes, and NordVPN is going to help you with that. We're going to read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to keep it moving here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Master of Parsnip said, good afternoon from Lancashire, England. Good morning to you or good afternoon to you over there across the pond. Eating your tea and crumpets. I'm sorry, I had to. See, I hail from Scotland, so I've got a very interesting relationship with the English, right? One House Productions in chat said, yeehaw, Jeb. Hey, everyone. Good morning to you as well. Although I probably do sound more British than most Americans do, because I've been told that the Appalachian accent, which you don't hear from me very often, but it is still in me, is the most similar accent in the United States to Old English that was spoken during the Victorian era. So I actually do know a little bit about how to speak in a old school British accent, because that was the accent I was born with. All right. Shadrach Frost said, folks, let's hit that like button now. Yes, let's see if we can't get the likes up above 100. Let's see if we can't get them up over 100. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Really appreciate all of you guys for making what I do here possible. Let's continue. Bitcoin and Ethereum are working on a bounce, and I've got every reason to believe that that may end up coming soon, right? So we've got a bullish MACD cross coming in soon on Ethereum as well. Hasn't happened yet, but it is promising. Same story as what we saw on Bitcoin. We are also seeing Ethereum break above the 14-interval moving average here, and that is also seeing Ethereum's RSI break above this 37.95 level, this 38 level, which Ethereum held for the better part of 6 months, but we initially fell below it. If we rally up here and then we have a small correction, we could actually build an inverse head and shoulders pattern on the RSI, which, yes, that is a thing, and it would be a bullish reversal for the market. So again, a lot of promising signs here, but time's going to have to tell. I also want to look at the Crypto Jeb Oscillator. If you guys have not already signed up for LUX Algo and gotten the Crypto Jeb Oscillator, you're missing out. Let me just put that out there. I'm going to tell you because I love you. You're missing out. Crypto Jeb Oscillator is an oscillator that I built in partnership with the LUX Algo development team, and it's wonderful. And it is mainly comprised of two different components here that are automatically generated just like in any technical indicator. You've got the actual speed, if you will, the velocity of the bulls and the bears in the line here. And then in the kind of bar chart here, the bar graph here, you've got the acceleration. So the bearish acceleration is slowing down. I know that sounds like a double negative, but bear with me here. The bears are essentially, this is like how far down you press the gas pedal, right? They started pushing on the gas pedal. This is as deep as they push the gas pedal, and then they started pulling off of the gas pedal. The bears are still, they still have their foot on the gas, but they're taking their foot off the gas. Does that make sense? And because they're taking their foot off the gas, the bearish velocity is starting to stall, right? This is what this means. This means that the bears for Ethereum, and it's the same chart on Bitcoin, mind you. You can see the chart here on Bitcoin. This is the Crypto Jeb Oscillator. The bears are taking their foot off the gas as well, and the bears' actual velocity, their speed, is starting to slow down. This is a sign that a reversal is taking place. When you're reading the Crypto Jeb Oscillator, you're looking for moments in time like this, where you're starting to see the bearish velocity slow down, which with a little bit of lag, because you still have some momentum there, with a little bit of lag, you're gonna, just like in a car, you're gonna see the bears start to slow down. And here, if we look in between these two blue lines, this was actually, it wasn't the end of the bull market, it wasn't the end of the downtrend, but it actually did signify a potential recovery, right? And so if we look back here, for example, if we look right here, I'm not even looking at the price. If we just look right here, what are we going to see, right? You see the bearish momentum slow down. What does that correspond to? Boom, look at that on the price. Look at that. That's what it is. So that's what Crypto Jeb Oscillator does. You can get it by going to luxalgo.com/Jeb, signing up for any plan, and Crypto Jeb Oscillator will come with that. That is the only way to get access to it, is by signing up with our link, so check it out down below. But when we see that similar thing happening that we've seen before, this season that we're seeing here, ever since about Sunday or so, when we started seeing the bears take their foot off the gas on Bitcoin, and by the way, mind you, on Ethereum as well, and we start to see the foot taken off the gas here, the metaphorical foot taken off the gas, that gives us confidence that the bulls are starting something, or at least the bears are starting to give up. It is not confirmed. It is too early to tell, but it is promising. And that's what I want to say on that. Now, also the LUX ALGO mainline indicator, LUX ALGO Premium here, which comes with the LUX ALGO Premium package here. We are under a sell signal here, and we do not have confirmation. So Crypto Jeb Oscillator has not confirmed an uptrend yet, but it has told us that we are in the early stages of one. There is unrest brewing, and a rebellion is fomenting right now. We're going to see if it actually kicks off and sparks off, right? So Bitcoin would need to rally a couple $1,000s, or $5,000 or $6,000 to really be in solid bullish territory, but it can happen, and it could happen soon. So keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears to the rails, and listen to the news, listen to the stream here, and we will keep you guys updated. This is a good sign. This is good news, and good things could be coming here. Now, I also want to talk about a couple of other charts that are very, very important. It's so funny. One of these charts I actually had a dream about last night. I kid you not, I woke up and I was in the middle of a dream about the chart I'm about to show you. Apparently I dream in charting formations now, right? One of the things, and before we get to that chart though, I want to talk about the Dixie. The dollar currency index here was in a rising wedge, which we predicted a couple of weeks ago was going to lead to a breakout bearish, which is what happened. We ended up breaking bearish out of the Dixie here, dropped us down to 104.7. Sounds like 104.7, right? We're on the radio. No, dropped down to 104.7. Gosh, it just sounds like a radio channel. We need to be on 104.7. Can somebody like loan me a radio tower and I'm going to get on the radio? No. But we dropped down to 104.7, the sky. And after that happened, that's been during the time that we've seen Bitcoin going through this little bit of a recovery. Not much, but a little bit. And the reason for that is because the Dixie and Bitcoin are inversely correlated. When Bitcoin is going into a rally, oftentimes that is happening because the Dixie is dropping. And so this is a good sign. If the Dixie continues to drop here, if it continues to kind of capitulate here, then that's going to help Bitcoin's case. If it starts rallying here because it's bouncing off of this uptrend, then that's where you're going to have a hard time with Bitcoin moving to the upside. And the reason for this is because the Dixie and Bitcoin are inversely correlated. If people are buying the Bitcoin market, it's normally because they don't trust Bitcoin. It's normally because they don't trust the dollar. If they trust the dollar, a lot of times they don't have as much of an incentive to buy Bitcoin. And whether they trust the dollar or not is oftentimes dependent on what the Dixie is doing, which is a chart that measures the strength of the dollar against a basket of other world currencies. So we'll keep that in mind. And then we're also going to look at the S&P 500 here, which is in blue sky breakout. This is the dream. This is the chart I was having a dream about last night. I was like, in the dream, a friend of mine who I work with charting and everything, he's like, in the dream, he says, you don't buy unless the S&P is going to the sky or something like that. You don't buy unless the S&P is rallying. And that's because, in a way, Bitcoin is a secondary market to the United States S&P 500. If Bitcoin were a company, it would be in the S&P 500, mind you. It is well big enough to be in the S&P 500. So it kind of makes sense that Bitcoin is going to move with the S&P 500 when a lot of people are buying the S&P 500 and Bitcoin for the same reason, to beat inflation, number one, and to build wealth, number two. And so with the S&P 500 currently looking like it's going to break bullish here above this uptrending level of resistance that we've been under for a very long time, then that gives us some degree of confidence saying, hey, look, S&P 500 could start breaking bullish here, and if S&P 500 does start breaking bullish here, then that is likely going to be a bullish factor for Bitcoin. So we're left at a crossroads. What gives? Are we going to follow the S&P 500 to the upside, or are we going to follow the Dixie to the downside? Well, this is where I say that you need to be sitting on the edge of your seat. And when we sit on the edge of our seat and we wait, then what's going to happen is we're going to realize that we're a few days away from getting information on this. And we need to be patient. We need to exercise patience. We don't know which direction the Dixie is going to take. It's kind of in the middle of making a decision right now. I could go lower. We don't really know if the S&P 500 is going to break bullish here. We don't really know if there's going to be continued inflows into Bitcoin that's going to lead it to the upside. We don't exactly know what's going to happen next. But what I will tell you is the technicals are promising. And what I will tell you is that in the short to medium term, things are looking up. In the long term, they're always looking up. That's why we invest in Bitcoin. We're not putting the majority of our investment into coins that have no track record and they have one top and it's a blow off top and it looks like, somebody stuck a stick in the ground and that's the way the chart looks, right? There's a lot of charts like that. Go down here, grab a chart. Let's look at Phantom. I've interviewed the founder of Phantom. Nothing against Phantom. I know Michael Kong. But let's look at it. Look at that stick in the ground. This is a stick in the ground chart. You've got the ground, you've got the stick, and that's the whole chart. No hate on Phantom. It's technology. Michael Kong, there's a video on the channel. I interviewed the guy at a conference. Again, nothing against Phantom. But I don't invest in charts like this. I don't. I don't invest in stick in the ground charts. I invest in mountain climbing charts. If you look at Bitcoin on the log chart for the last 15 years, it's doing this. It continues to the upside. If you look at, let's just pick on Phantom a little bit. I'm not trying to bully you, Phantom. I highly doubt Michael Kong's watching this, but if he is, I'm sorry. You know, nothing against you. But this is not like a mountain climbing chart here. It's just kind of sideways, right? And there's one big movement here in the middle. It's not continually just moving to the upside. And so we have long-term confidence that if we buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, they've got that kind of mountain climber chart, right? Over time, they've made money. Just boom, just hold it, and it's going to be up, right? They've got that track record, just like the S&P 500 does, and so we hold on to it. And so we have that confidence, and that's where we kind of go back to. So make sure if you have not already begun investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum in the United States stock market that you do. And the reason for that is very simple. I don't want you going broke. Listen, guys, there's going to come seasons in your life where you're able to work less. You could lose your job. You could be in the, you know, kind of in the situation I am in right now where, I mean, we're very blessed financially, but that's part of my point is that I'm like, I've got so much going on. I'm taking care of my wife right now, guys, and that takes a lot. Like, she's got a lot of stuff going on with the pregnancy, and everything's going to be okay. It's just kind of miserable right now for her. I'm trying to be there for her as much as I can. I'm not working 60 or 70 hours a week right now. I wouldn't do that anyway, but I'm not working 60 or 70 hours a week right now. So, but I have made good financial decisions. My wife and I have made good financial decisions over the last, you know, couple of years here. And so I have the ability to say, all right, I can take a few hours off of work and help with preparing for the baby and taking care of you because, oh my gosh, you got to eat, right? And you can't, my wife's going through so much. And there's going to come seasons in your life like the season I'm in my life right now where I am distracted. There's stuff going on in my personal life. There's a lot going on, and it's a good thing. I want you to be able to focus on your personal life and not say, oh, well, I can't do that. I mean, sorry, I got to make sure that we don't, you know, the house doesn't burn down, right? I want you to have that. That's why investment's important. You know, people are like, oh my gosh, you're shilling, you know, project. All these guys, they do great stuff. Check them out. The thing I'm shilling is investment and fence-off. That I will totally throw me under the bus, call me a shill. I don't care. I'm shilling fence-off. I want you to be financially sovereign, and part of that is investing for the future. You've got to do it. You've got to invest for the future. There's going to come a time, there's going to come a season where either you are able to work less or you lose your job or you want to retire. And you will, and it's not that you're not going to work. You know, people that retire and just try and live this life, oh, I'll just sit on the beach chair and I'll just watch the waves come in with my margarita, right? And then they end up dying soon after they retire. Because your body's like, I have no purpose. Might as well go be with God, right? You might want to retire. You want to retire so that you can go do something else. Whether that's watching your 12 grandkids or you know, being a missionary in Vietnam. I don't know what it is, but you want to do something that you don't have to do it for work. You've got to make these investments. You've got to do it. You've got to invest for the future. Please do. Please do. All right, let's read some chat. Crypto Independent said, sorry for being late. Everybody was so bearish yesterday. Now everyone is bullish. I'm not exactly bullish, guys. You know, it's so funny. People could accuse me of flip-flopping. I feel like I'm the most consistent person when it comes to this. I am very much, you've got to prove it to me. I don't flip-flop so much as I say, okay, look, like the market's signaling that we could go in this direction. A lot of times I feel like, you know, do you remember back in, hopefully this ended in high school, right? But do you remember back in like high school and somebody put you in the middle of a conversation? They're like, oh, well, go tell them I said that, right? And then you go and tell them, they're like, oh, well, and then go tell them I said that, and you're in the middle. That's how I feel a lot of times. You guys are like, oh my gosh, the market's doing this, and the market says, oh my goodness, I think I'm going to do this. And I'm here in the middle. I'm like, he said that what? Oh, tell him that. Okay, oh yeah, but he said that's me. That's my job. I'm sitting here in the middle of you and the market, trying to make you both succeed, mainly you, but. Because the market's doing just fine on its own. But that's me. I'm right here in the middle telling you what's going to happen. And so I'm sitting here saying, he's telling me that it sounds like he's about to change his mind. I don't know, but the guy doesn't tell me what he's going to do. He just kind of does it. But the way he's talking, it seems like he's about to change his mind. Maybe. That's my job. My job is to say, the market, it's telling me this. The market just told me we're going into an uptrend, right? Now, he could change his mind. The dude's pretty fickle, but he just told me he's going into an uptrend. And then you're like, but wait a heck, what do I do with that? And I say, oh, well, hang on, it's okay. We just set up a dollar cost averaging thing. I know he can't make up his mind. We're going to have some cash. And then if the market does drop, if the market changes his mind, it drops and we buy more. And again, that's my job, is sitting there in the middle, helping you guys understand what that guy's talking about. Because the market, I'm going to tell you the truth, is fickle. It is confusing and it changes its mind all the dang time. But that's where my job is to try and smooth that out. That's what you're here for, is because the market's got noise. I'm here to turn that noise into a signal that you can follow. And so that's what we're here for. And so what I'm going to tell you that the market is telling me, that I'm the translator in the middle, right? Is I'm the translator in the middle, and I promise I'm not like one of those people that gets up on stage and they pretend to know sign language and they're just doing this and it's an absolute abomination. Like that literally happens sometimes. I want to be the translator that actually knows both languages, and I can share with you what it's telling me. And so the market, the language of technical analysis, is telling me right now that there is a strong likelihood that a rally will be starting soon, but it's not confirmed yet. And so we are not sitting at a 90 or a 95% confidence in uptrends coming. We're sitting at a there's a pretty solid chance that it could happen. And so what do we do with that? What do we do with that signal? My job, turn noise into signal. What do we do with the signal that I'm giving you? Here's what we do. We say we're going to be dollar cost averaging every interval. We're going to buy. We're going to invest X amount of currency into Y amount of cryptocurrency, into Y cryptocurrencies on Z cryptocurrency exchange. It's the first thing we're going to do. If we don't have that set up, we're not doing anything else. I know I beat that like a dead horse, but the fact of the matter is you've got to do that. If you have not done that, you skipped a step. It's important. We've got to set that up, because the people that succeed in cryptocurrency, including myself, the way that they did it is they bought and held. They did it for years. And I know you don't want to hear that. I feel like a parent sometimes talking to you guys, just lecturing you, like, please do this. And then your kid comes back and says, Daddy, I saw a video last night. There's this guy and he makes content. He's like complaining about his kids, which is kind of sad. I feel bad for his kids, but it was kind of funny. I got to be honest. And he's like, one of the worst things about being a parent is that you tell your kids something 1,000 times. I told you this was going to happen. I told you this was going to happen. I told you if you're late for work one more time, he's going to fire you. And then the kid gets fired. And then they come back and they don't repent and say, man, you told me, man, I really should have listened to you. You tried to tell me 1,000 times. No, they come back and they blame you. And so that's what I'm telling you guys. I'm going to tell you 1,000 times, dollar cost average. It's so simple. Jeb, you don't know what you're talking about. Dad, you don't know what you're talking about. Been here, done that, got the postcard, wrote the book on it. I made the academy on it, taught on it for 7 years, done this for 25,000 hours. I know what I'm talking about. Start here. That's simple. And people want to skip that step because they think they know better than me. And I'm not trying to be prideful, but have you been here for 7 years doing this and made every mistake under the sun and had to realize that the basics are the basics for a reason? It's because you start there? No? Okay, then please listen to me. Set up the dollar cost averaging and do it after you've got emergency funds in place, after you paid off your consumer debt, and after you have a budget for your personal finances. Do it in that order. People don't want to hear that. Oh my gosh, Jeb, you don't know what you're talking about. 15-year-old, 16-year-old, a bagger at Publix is my son. Oh my gosh, Dad, you don't know what you're talking about. If they won't care if I'm late. Whoop-de-doo, I'm late everywhere. I'm just special. I'm just better than everybody else, I guess. Oh, wow, you got fired. Wow. Whoosh, your life just slapped you upside the head because you won't listen to wisdom. Please, listen to the wisdom I'm sharing with you. Dollar cost average if you want to invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Start by putting money into Bitcoin and Ethereum and do it every week or every other week or once a month. I recommend every week, but you can do it on the 1st and 15th. You can do it on whatever interval. Just at least once a month. Do it with something you can afford to lose. Money that you're not planning on seeing for 7 to 10 years. Hold it for 7 to 10 years at least. And then in 7 to 10 years, come back and we'll grab a beer because you're a millionaire now, right? It's going to be wonderful. But you've got to put the seeds in the ground and you've got to listen to somebody who's been here for 7 years and who's been holding Bitcoin for 6.5 of them and has made 15x on it. You've got to listen to somebody that was buying Ethereum at $183 and it's worth $3,000 now. It was at $15,000 and it was up almost 20x, over 20x. You've got to listen. You've got to do. Wisdom is not just knowing something. Wisdom is knowing something and doing something with it. I don't just want you to be head knowledgeable. I want you to be smart enough to do something with it. There's a reason that the most successful entrepreneurs are not 200 IQ people. They're not always A students, and they didn't always graduate at the top of their class. Because while they might not be, they're smart, and they're probably smarter than the average Joe, but they're not insanely smart, because if you get insanely smart, you end up getting stuck in the realm of theory. Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, right? He's a theoretical physicist. He makes fun of his peers that are engineers, and they're actually building something, right? I was going into physics. I got nothing wrong with physics. I love physics, one of my passions. But I want you to know something, and I want you to do something with it. Buy the market. Stop overcomplicating it. Stop overcomplicating it, please. Here's what you do. Every Friday at 5 p.m., we will invest $400 into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and cash. We're going to put $200 into Bitcoin. We're going to put $100 into Ethereum. We're going to put $100 into cash. It's going to sit in USDC, generating 5.15%. And we're going to do that on crypto.com or Coinbase or wherever. I don't care. You know, crypto.com is a great place, but wherever. I just want you to do this. That's your plan. You're buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, more Bitcoin than Ethereum. Then you have cash. And when the market drops, like it just did, 20%, then you dump the cash in the market. You can either increase the dollar cost averaging every interval, or you can dump it in all at once. I don't really care. The point is you deploy that cash when you go lower, if you want to get that complicated. After that, then you can level up to being a trader. A lot of you guys are trying to become an expert trader, and you never mastered investment. There is an order to this. It's not a one or the other. No, it's a one then the other. It's not a you're a trader and you're not an investor. No, you're a fool. Because when the trading doesn't work out, you're going to be left with what we call in the South, jack squat. You've got to be an investor first. Before you become a trader, you need to be an investor. If you want to say in your investment plan, and I'm going to actually not do $400, I'm going to do $450, and putting $50 into a trading account every week that I'm using to learn to trade, you can do that. That's fine. But start with the investment. It's that simple. I love telling you where market's going to go. I love telling you when to deploy the cash. By the way, now's not a bad idea not a bad time to deploy some cash. Not a bad idea. Again, if you're going to hold it for 5, 7, 10 years, it's not a bad idea, not a bad time. In fact, I think it's a really good time to deploy some of your cash position. Not your emergency fund, not your 3 to 6 month emergency fund. That's not invested. The cash that you set aside for investment. Or if you just had a windfall or something and you've got retirement and you're investing for retirement, it's not a bad, and you're putting money into your house, it's not a bad idea to put a little bit of cash into the market as well right now. In fact, I think it's a really good idea. So I think that's an area, I think that's what you guys ought to be doing. And frankly, we would be doing that right now also, but just remember, we spent 5 years investing I spent 5 years investing in nothing but Bitcoin. So our net worth is still very much skewed in favor of Bitcoin and crypto. So we're building out other net worth verticals like stock portfolios and whatnot right now with our cash, paying down our mortgage early. We're going to pay it off 20 years early, but we, that's kind of where we are. So we would be buying the market right now. I would totally be dumping cash into Bitcoin right now if it weren't for, the fact that our own specific financial situation, just building out everything. So be patient, continue working on the investments, and you'll be good. All right, guys, I do also want to let you know about Vault, who is a sponsor of our channel. Vault is so important because if you lose a key, they've got your back with their secure replacement key service. Here's the way this works. You have 2 keys required to move your assets. You are alone in control of your crypto, just like it says here on the website. It's very simply explained. You've got 2 keys. If you lose one of them, the uphold key stands into place, which means you have security, you have peace of mind in case you lose a key. This is absolutely worthwhile. Peace is an important foundation of financial success. People don't understand that, and so they go and they take out $1 billion of debt. They don't understand that peace is a fundamental component to building wealth. Having peace because you've secured your assets and you're not in a position where you're going to lose all of them because of one small mistake is a very important part of building wealth. On the one hand, practically, because if you lose the wealth, you're screwed and you have to start over. On the other hand, spiritually, you're going to be distracted. You're not going to be able to sleep as well at night if your assets are not secured. This is why we buy insurance. This is why the #1 selling point of life insurance is the phrase peace of mind. It's not snake oil. It's true. It's a good thing. You want peace of mind. You just have to find the right insurance. In this case, you have to find the right way to protect your keys. If you're going to self-custody them, this is the right way to protect your keys. So sign up with Vault with the link in the description box down below, and you're going to be glad you did because it's going to help you sleep at night. All right, we'll read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to wrap it out here pretty soon. Justin Long said, Jeb, I moved my Ethereum to my wallet, and it's not there. Any suggestions? Okay, yeah. So here's the situation. If you send cryptocurrency, I got to be level with you, Justin. I don't know if you've been in the space for a long time and this is a technical thing, or if you're new and you're not sure what's going on, but to make sure you all know, when you send cryptocurrency, if you don't send it to the right wallet on the right chain, it's gone for good. It's gone forever. That's one of the reasons that stuff like Uphold's Vault has been created. If you lose a key, it's gone forever. The part of the catch of being decentralized is that there's no support line. That's why Vault exists, because they basically created a support line for your Bitcoin. if you sent it on the wrong chain, or if you sent it to the wrong wallet, even if it was one character off, it is gone permanently. And I'm really sorry about that. If you just sent it, and it's been a couple minutes, it might just still be processing. So I don't want to freak you out. If you did everything right, it could still be in the way. You just have to look at the, you have to look on Etherscan, etherscan.io, and use the transaction ID, the TIX ID, which will be in the transaction, Ethereum, etherscan.io. You go to etherscan.io here, verify I'm a human, and you can look at all the transactions here. So you get the TIX hash, the TIX ID, TX ID, transaction ID. You can stick it in here, you can search by the address, and you can see if it's here. So if you see it, then you might look at, I don't know, there's just some random transaction. You can see this has 3 block confirmation. 3 blocks have passed. It was 27 seconds ago. It's successful. It's gone through. But it had a fee. And a 95-cent fee. If you put the fee too low, it could be stuck waiting to go through. So it could be stuck in limbo basically forever. So you want to be careful with that. Make sure you put high enough of a fee that actually gets chosen by the blockchain. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that can go on there. But the main thing is making sure that you have a high enough fee that it actually goes through, even if it takes a while, and making sure that it goes on the right chain and to the right wallet. I really hope that nothing happened there. And another tip is that you can send a test transaction. If I'm doing any transactions over, I don't know, $10,000 or so, then I will send a test transaction, and I will just let myself take the extra time. Even if it's on Bitcoin, it takes an hour to go through. I will send a test transaction sometimes. Just to make sure that everything is good before I, put that much money into a transaction. Cool. A little bit like hyperspace in Star Wars. If you chart it wrong, you could fly into a black hole or into a supernova or something, right? You don't want that, so be careful. All right, guys. I also want to let you guys know about Crypto.com. If you've not already signed up for Crypto.com, you absolutely should. They are trusted by over 100 million users worldwide, and for a good reason. They've got everything you need to succeed in cryptocurrency, including all of your recurring purchase needs, and they've got on-chain staking, which is great because this is where you can set up that investment schedule that I talked about. You can set up your recurring purchases. You can hold cash. You can hold the stable coins. You can stake them, and you can succeed with them here. Make sure that you check out Crypto.com with the link in the description box down below, because this is the place that you can go to make your home in cryptocurrency. All right. Hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I really appreciate you all tuning in. I appreciate you guys being patient with me as we've been extremely busy over the last few weeks and months, and we will be continuing to be pretty busy over the next couple of weeks to couple of months as we prepare for our son to come, and as we're doing our best to get prepared and take care of my wife. We've done so much to get ready for the baby, but it just seems like the list of things that needs to happen is never ending. It is insane how much a little child needs, and it's wonderful, it's great, and that's what we're here for, and I love being a parent, but there's so many things. Like, they need all the things. Like, you can't leave house without the house. You just have to you have to hook the house up to a trailer and haul the whole thing behind you when you have a baby. It's just the way it works. You just literally, you get a trailer hitch. Like, we've got obviously a single family home of 4-bedroom house right here. But you got to get the trailer hitch. You hook it up to the front, like a mobile home. It's not a mobile home. We're in a very nice neighborhood, one of the nicest neighborhoods in town. But stick it up to a trailer hitch, drag the whole house behind you. You just bring the whole house with you because there's so much stuff. So we got a lot to do. Please be praying for us, and please especially be praying for my wife's health. That she would have peace, and that she would have comfort, and that she would feel better, and that she'd be able to eat and all those things. Obviously we have food, but there's a lot of things that's preventing her from being able to eat, and that sucks because your body kind of needs that. So I'm gonna go continue taking care of her and make the afternoon video. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream, and stay tuned because we've got a whole lot more content coming for you guys. Never gonna stop. I will be preaching you guys for not preaching, but trying to bless you guys about financial sovereignty for years and years to come. So I'm going to wrap it out. Before I do, though, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out our sponsors, especially LUX ALGO. And before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.